right, good. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Coach Waz here with the great Emeric Delzceg. I'm calling the godfather of bodybuilding. We were going to do a video with Dr. John Jagwish tonight. We had some technical difficulties, just trying to hook all three people up into the same screen. So what we're going to do is in a week, Emeric is actually going to go sit in John's office, and they're going to pull me up on a screen, and the three of us are going to have a video done like that. So it's still coming. Stay with us. Emeric and John together, they're going to discuss many things, and then we'll come in together and we'll share it with everybody. I can't explain how excited I am for all this, because there's going to be some huge changes in the future. So tonight, I've got a lot of feedback from people that they like our videos. Some people have a hard time understanding some things, and they say maybe it's Emeric's accent or something. And I just think some of the terminology we use and things like that, people aren't so versed on. So we're going to try to slow down and try to explain some growth factors in just a little more layman's terms, and some more of the TRT talk. We're going to talk some training on the variable resistance, overloading the muscle in a safer position. And lastly, Emeric's working with a lot of people right now with Humanifort and whatnot. The Masters Olympia is coming up, and there is a plethora of people getting benefits from this. We'll discuss that a little bit. From there, though, buddy, we'll take it from there, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So for those kind of confused with the growth factors, I 100% understand, because this is something new, not just for athletes, but I still in medical field, many medical doctors, they have very small knowledge about these growth factors, because all in the medical field, they all talk about hormones and growth hormones. So that's well discussed for years and years and years. Now, for those these growth factors, what's the difference between growth factors and growth hormones? These growth factors act as hormones, but they are not hormones. For example, some of these fibrous growth factors your liver can produce, which cause upregulates. And when something gets upregulated, it has side effect, or if a downregulated, side effect. So to be able to run perfectly your body is like a tune-up on your car. You have to change everything. So to be sure that you function normally, these growth factors need to be kept on a perfect range or closest possible ways normal. For example, if you are going on a very low calorie diet, you want to lose weight, and then you don't pay attention to the macros, which macros, when I say minerals, vitamins, and of course amino acids, your liver upregulate fibrous growth factor 19, which will be muscle catabolic effect. Now, so just going on low calories and not paying attention to micro elements, minerals, because, if you have calcium, magnesium, all these minerals and vitamins, and essential amino acid, that doesn't mean you have to, how many calories? There's almost no calories there. But this will able to function, have your muscle function, and your brain, everything where it's supposed to be. By doing this, you prevent the fibrous growth factor 19 be upregulated. So that's why some people, they said, I lost fat, but I lost all my muscle too. You have to pay attention to your nutrients, the micros. That's why I'm kind of excited about this. There are many essential branched-chain amino acid formulation market. I'm very excited to meet John's office with Fortigen, because we can create something so unique with this that people, they can go fasting 36 hours, etc., and they don't have to worry about no muscle loss.
Right.
So I'm very excited about that meeting. that meeting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then regarding these growth factors, our body able to produce some growth factors such as IGF and IGF-2,
Yes.
which when you're exercising, yes. So
Mhm.
that's why it's very important to exercise. Now you have to figure out, oh, I exercise, but how come maybe the other guy is getting bigger? We do the same, we do same biceps, triceps, etc. How come that guy is getting better, even if they were twin brothers? Because probably the guy who has more IGF development, he take advantage of the knowledge that you load your muscles, heavy load, on where is the most effective.
Mhm.
Most effective. So I didn't know any science. So John did research and science and demonstrating. I didn't have anything to demonstrate or to explain scientifically what's happening
Right.
and what you have to put there. So I started this back in the 70s in Romania, and
Yeah.
then I remember first time I spoke with John, Phil introduced us, had a telephone conversation, and when John started telling me exactly his concept with this extreme band incorporating you trainings, then I explained that I've been doing this, but not the band.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be doing the other way. So definitely the X3 bar system.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter you're a professional boxer, you're a powerlifter, you can incorporate. So that doesn't mean you're a boxer, you stop doing
Yeah.
spotting and jumping and doing whatever you do, but it's good to incorporate. And you can incorporate, doesn't matter, you're a powerlifter, you're high jumpers, because that will help explosion too.
Yeah. And you'll get a maximal hypertrophy without any damage. And then
Yeah.
you can go do your skill training when the muscles are hot and everything and not have any issues.
Yeah.
Now, let me stop you for just.
So if maybe I should be more clear with that fibers growth factors, or that was.
Well, no, what I'll do, Emeric, is let me summarize a little bit. What I'm gathering, what you're trying to say there is, that, for example, let's say somebody's fasted. There's actually FGF-19, which that would go around and start to catabolize a little bit because you're fasted and you don't have any, let's say you're really low in body fat, and you're doing something that's like physically taxing. Your body is it's a negative energy. It's in a negative energy place. In the last case, your body will start breaking down connective tissue proteins in order to get some sort of energy.
Oh, yes.
What we're finding is with the Humanofort, the other growth factors, and through training and these other growth factors, it actually stops that catabolic effect. So mixing it with just like some essential amino acids, for example, we can still train. We could be fasted for, like you said, 36 hours, lose no muscle. We'll actually just burn fat like crazy, and our body will go back into a rebound once we start eating again and just assimilate a whole bunch of protein. You always got to take a little step back to go forward. And this is a more methodical, safer way to do that.
Yeah.
So marrying you and Humanofort with Dr. John Jaguish and his Fortigen, everything, that's going to be incredible there.
Yeah.
And then what we're talking about with the variable resistance in the X3, like you're saying, is your training style was variable resistance. And that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. And I use your training still with my clients. We just use it methodically after we use the bands, and the X3 itself is doing exactly what you did with weights by loading the contracted position. And then before you push and you're in a dangerous position and you're the weakest, that's where the weakest, and it's limiting you. We take some of the load off so you can get it back up, but then load it again.
Yeah.
And we're mimicking the exact same thing that your system used for years. So But other than that, what else were we going to
Well,
talk about?
I wanted to go back when you fasting.
Yeah.
That's mean when you're fasting, you still need to supply your body with essential ionic minerals. That's very important. That's very important. Because what's happening? See, what's happening? Your body go in panic, in starvation. Every time you hold back something, not getting it. If I recall correctly, about 7 hours. For example, you stop drinking water for 7 hours. Your body says, "Oh, wait a second. I'm going through this panic because I'm not getting water." So now what's you try to do? Your body try to hold back and take water away it can't supply. So where's a lot of moist? It's in colon. So when people, they cutting out water before contest, and suddenly they have a really high migraine. And then why is the migraine? What's happening? You don't give the water. So your cells must survive. They need water, the cells. So try to gather everything. So from the colon will take out water moist, but that comes with a toxin. And that causes the migraine. So cutting out water, that's a big mistake. Now, what I do recommend is somebody doing for 36 hours or whatever time they want to do it. I highly recommend fulvic acid, not folic, fulvic acid, which is
fulvic acid,
which are contains over 72 minerals. They are all ionic. So anything you take in you your body has to convert them ionic stage. So when you take over the counter zinc, etc., it's not when you grab that piece of fruit, grab that veggie, nuts, etc. Now anything comes from nature, it's all ionic. Because when it's not ionic, your body has to put them in ionic stage, and you don't know, you took 100 milligram, 200 maybe from the little tiny dose. So by adding those ionic minerals, that has no calories, so you don't have to worry about it. But supplying the body with those very important micros, plus essential amino acid and the growth factors humanifold, now you don't have to worry about muscle catabolism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy. Now, regarding the workout, I see very advanced pro bodybuilders and very advanced trainers, without mentioning name. So you're doing, let's do just pick up one extension, leg extension. So you're doing leg extension, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then I'm pressing you down.
Right.
Then I have to up also. Mm-hmm. So then now suddenly, sometimes joking, that guy is doing triceps and you do your legs because it's pressing down. So that can be very disadvantage for you when you do your workout. The reason, because again, you have no control in your mind, because the muscle doesn't tell you, I want to do this. You tell to the muscle what you want. I want you to do. So muscle would just, you put me on me 500 pounds, I'm going to resist. Mm-hmm. So now when I start doing that, and anybody has doubts about this, go tomorrow to the gym, have somebody helping you, and try to help that. Press you down, lift you up, and pay attention. Then after that, do another set where no pressing down. You just have somebody put a weight and lift them back. You're going to see the difference. I was at one place.
Emeric, can I add something here?
Yes.
The most important thing is, in my mind, if we were going to say, let's say somebody's using, let's say you say like somebody's pushing down and helping up. Helping somebody up throws them off way more than just if somebody was to push down with an extra 20, 30 pounds of pressure, because you're still going to feel that load and your muscle's going to have to adapt.
Yeah.
But when they help you,
that's
as soon as they help you,
that's the worst.
It's just like, and anybody that has ever done like bench press can admit to this. you're pushing and your buddy touches the bar, even if they pull 10 pounds, it's like you're moving, but you can't feel it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
problem is not on the negative part if I'm pressing you down.
Right.
It's
Right.
not there, because even you don't know how much you're pressing.
Right.
The muscle feels that extra load and resisting. But
Yeah.
when you're coming back, the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, actually, perfect. Yep.
that's a problem. Because
Yep.
once you're done and I'm helping you, just imagine you have all those muscle fibers involved. It's like imagine this: you go to a back in the 80s, it was a discotheque. You know,
Mhm.
it's a dance. You see all the dance floor, everyone dancing. You know, that I figured out when you put off the load, the muscles are happy, they dancing, they're all involved. It's like a big party.
Yeah.
And suddenly, when you helping back, you stopping a lot of hours, you're eliminating it.
Yeah. You broke the music. Nobody knows what to do anymore.
Yeah. So when you, like explained on front lobe, when you know, and you have all the way a range goes to pre-roll, to the pre-cortex, to the cortex, there, that helps, that directs the muscle to move, not the muscle tells your brain, hey, listen, can you focus on this? You start organizing everything on your head, first of all. Now, I probably, when I go to John scientifically, we can maybe put something together and publish it, because it's something, my entire idea on this, when somebody helping you. See, for example, let's go leg press. You put up a weight, you're able to do 5 reps. You know, let's just take a number, 200 pounds. You do 5, and that's it. You can't do any more than 6. So it's 200 pounds. Now I'm adding extra 100 pounds. So now you're coming with 300 pounds, yeah? So the initial 200 pounds, you can do only 5 reps, no matter what. But now we start with 300. Suddenly you calm down with 300 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because doing it. Suddenly, the 200 pounds, you didn't end up at 5. You did the other 3 or 4 more reps with that, because you tricked in more muscle to resist, and that fraction second you take it off,
it's still there.
Still there, and that's why it feels so light.
Yep. And that's why people doing the variable resistance with bands up here, if they're used to weights, they're used to feeling that load in the beginning, and then they're not used to the top load hard contraction. And after you do that top load hard contraction and come back down, you don't feel anything at the bottom. It almost feels like there's not much there, but there's still a lot of load. It's matching the strength curve of your muscle. So you're engaging all those fibers, and then when you come back down, wham, you're ready for it again. And then it starts to fail, and your rep range just starts getting shorter.
Yeah.
And it's doing the same thing, but with like the style you were using, we always would have to have like a training partner to, you know, move the weight or something like that. Yeah. So it's a much safer, methodical way to go about it. But as far as bodybuilding goes, with all the various things we have to do, we do whatever it takes to build that muscle, and we can methodically use all of this stuff to our own advantages. So, and I thank you a million times over for your input on all that stuff, Emeric.
You know, my good friend, and was a good friend with Phil, also probably know him also, Tom Tognetti from Salinas.
I know the name, but I don't know.
He has his own personal place. So back in Salinas, he organized. I came to do a workout seminar. Probably was 25 years ago. Was 25 years ago. So Tom was one of the guys. I said, Tom, let's go to the leg press, and let's put put the weight, you can do 5 reps. You put the 5 reps, and I added more. And Tom said, "What are you doing?" "I can do only 5 reps." I said, "Don't worry." I said, just calm down. The normally you do nice control. The leg press, nice control, don't drop. And just, I had another guy on the other side. I told the guy, "You just follow me what I'm doing." So he came down with it, put the extra weight, lift him off, came back, and he said, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said, "Holy cow." I said, "See what we did? We tricked your muscle, because your muscle will try to resist for no matter what you put. Even you put so much, you put a whole building on, you're not gonna be able to resist, but try to."
Yeah.
No? And it's all from here.
Yeah.
So because that's for fraction, let's say you have that many muscle fibers involved to hold 500 pounds, yeah?
Mhm.
But usually you never did more than 400 pounds for that particular reps. Now you have 500 pounds coming down, you have maybe 1,000 more muscle fiber, and you take them off for a second as fraction, you still have those fiber there. And suddenly that many halves to the positive part motion.
Yep.
And that's comes with a rubber band. And by doing this, you're never going to end up like people say, you can walk all day long, you're not going to have bigger legs. Yeah. Because you, every single time, you tricking, enforcing your muscle fibers. Very, very simple. If anybody tomorrow go to the gym, try this out. Go on a leg press. You don't have to go something you can do only 1 rep. Just put something you can do least minimum 5 reps, 6. I prefer maybe 8. You can do 8. 5 is kind of very heavy load. So you can just put a weight. Normally you do 8 reps with that, and hasta la vista, no more. And then just add from the beginning. Of course, you have to warm up first nicely. Yeah. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Because if you don't try it out, you never know. Once you try it out, then you start thinking about, wait a second, is something here. So
it feels weird to people to have less load in the beginning. So that's, I think, why it throws them off. They're used to having a certain feel. And most guys don't understand the science that's at a cellular level. Yeah. So they just literally go by feel. And it's not the way to go. You have to know what's going on. But the only thing I add was that is I'm not a fan of the leg press, just because, well, one, you're impinged in this machine. Your hips aren't being used properly. That's why I use one leg at a time. But it also is shown in studies. John has one in his book. The leg press has 0 growth hormone output because there's no stabilization going on.
Oh, yeah.
If you do use one leg, though, there's a lot more stabilization going on, because you got to use the abductor in order to stabilize the hip while you're going back and forth. And you can't just have these tight psoas muscles that a lot of guys get.
Well, if I recall correctly, leg press has, I don't know how many % less IGF release than squats. It has some, but it's not like doing squats.
Exactly.
It has much less.
Because when you're squatting, you're using your hips and stabilizing. Everything's in the hips. Like everything starts in the hips.
Yeah. But and a lot of people, they don't even do the leg press correctly.
No, not at all. They just load it up and just push weight. You watch their knees coming in, and it's the most horrible thing you've ever seen. Yeah. I think that some of these machines, people use them because they're easy, and that's the last thing you should be doing, is because it's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about working the muscle.
On a leg press, first thing, if your butt comes up, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if you lay down on a leg press and you feel low back flat on the bench, that's wrong. You have to keep your lower back arch. When you're doing leg press, you pretend you're doing squats. You know how you do squats and tight your lower back and it's kind of arched in? You have to try to mimic the doing squats with the leg press. Not, I see all these people, chest out, same as you in squats. Chest out, breathe in, and you keep tight. You arch your lower back, you keep it tight. And when you do that, suddenly you say, oh, wait a second, I feel it in my glute. little in my hands, not as much as doing squats, but you have some activation if you do it properly.
Yep.
Not as much in the squats, but you can improve some degree.
Right.
You're not going to replace leg press with squats, impossible. But
Yep.
you will, if you adjust and you think what you're doing, not look at videotape and you see this guy
Yep.
what doing and then putting so much weight and somebody's sitting on the top. You have to check not the weight coming down, check his body, how laying down, what's happening.
Yep.
Because there you have to correct him.
The
Correct him.
what I
now-
found, and I found this on myself, Emeric, and I found this on multiple other guys, and I've fixed it by using variable resistance and single leg work. And the hips, guys, their abductors and everything from using those really, I hate leverage squat machines where you're just fixed and you're just hinging. You ever seen that leverage squat?
Yeah,
And you see these guys just loading up shitloads of plates on each side and even getting in them backwards and stuff and doing this just hinged lift. And the hips get so shot and they get so tight, the outer sweep, the vastus lateralis, actually starts to atrophy, and the outside of their legs are just straight and look like shit. And I still see guys, posting videos like, oh, look, I got 8 plates on each side of this thing, I'm incredible. At the same time, they're ruining their hips, their psoas muscles are getting too tight, then their spine is getting pulled forward, then they're getting rounded on the top, and they're getting forward rotation. I think we need to go back to more. No, I don't think, I know we need to go back to more like free weight, like free squatting, split squats, stabilizing balance, and kind of get away from these hinged machines that just, you're in this fixed position. You're using, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and also it's very important to you're doing squats, you have to keep your form, because usually if you watch people, Olympic weightlifter, you do the squat, it's perfect. Yep. You don't see when they're standing up, they're doing a good morning exercise with the bar.
Right.
Yeah. So
they use your abduction, so when you go down, the femur goes out.
And when you do squats, you hold everything tight. I mean, everything. You go under the bar, you lock yourself in, and you keep everything tight. You arch your lower back, breathe in, everything tight. It's very important. So when you're not doing squats, you're doing a leg press. If you know how you feel when you do squats, how you feel your lower back, how you lift your chest, if you try to mimic that to have some feeling in leg press, then you're going to feel more in leg press. If you're just going to do leg press without analyzing, first of all, you never did correct squats, you don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to those people. You have to go back to the beginning and start doing it correctly. Even when you do leg extension, again, there it's a position, your upper body is very important. A lot of people, they don't think about, oh, I'm doing leg extension. No. It's very important. When you're doing legs, squats, or running anything, your upper body doesn't leave and your legs run around. Your upper body is involved, doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
So you have to really learn what you learn how to train your legs. You learn with squats. You start with just body weight, and keep the posture correctly, tight everything, and then you can transfer to other exercises by knowing how I hold my posture,
right,
tight everything. Now,
Emeric, I want to discuss something. Now, you have a lot of people right now on Humanifort, including myself, and everybody I train, and I mean everybody I train, uses Humanifort. That's one of my standard things that I recommend to everybody. Not recommend, you're going to use it. You have a shitload of people going into the Masters Olympia right now.
Well, actually, I have official, I can name one guy who's competing and is a Humanifort, which is Vinny Galanti. The other guy who's competing, I'm waiting for him to give me a permission. I don't know. He has other sponsors, because when you have food supplements sponsoring you, and then suddenly you say something that I take Humanifort, that doesn't look good, whoever. But definitely, Vinny Galanti is on, and he's been on. Because he's over 50. See, what's happening usually when you get over 50 and you're competing with different guys, yeah, and some guys, they're younger than you. For example, you're 56, the other guy is 42. So you know that 50-something was going to compete again, but you're hoping, you know what, he's 1 year older, so probably not going to look as good as last year. Because you're getting older, automatically, when you get older, over 50, people say it's no way you put size on. You try to maintain and you lose more and more and more. So what's in Vinny's case, which I think he will surprise a lot of people, at his age, going to be 56, he put more size on since last year, October, till not even 1 year into the Humanifort program with the small doses, testosterone. He told me that it was first time 225 without being fat. So that at that age, that demonstrate that it's not from the testosterone, it's from the growth factors, which are, again, the growth factors are more important than hormones. Hormones, of course, a big part of the equation, but the growth factors. Now, this Masters Olympia is going to be very interesting. What if I would be a promoter? I would be doing something differently. For example, what's his name, from Australia? He's gonna turn 40 in May, and he plays really good in the Arnold Classic. And he had some health issue. I'm not sure if I recall correctly. He had something on his brain, like a little tumor or something. But anyway, he's overcome and he's healthy, so he's competing. So I feel sort of like age 40 right now in this life cycle we have with all this modern technologies and all this medical supports and massages, etc. So 40 years old, I think is kind of young to compete in the Masters yet. 45 and over, it's okay. But just imagine you turn 40, and you're competing somebody's 56. That's a huge difference. So I would put category 50 and 60 beside 40.
I think it should be like 45 to 50 area, and then from 50 to 60, 60 to 70,
every 5 years. Yes, every 5 years, because 5 years is huge. Somebody's now 35, 45, they don't know what I'm talking about. I'm 71 almost.
Right.
I'm telling you, when you get over 50, from 50 to 55, if you don't keep everything under control, you diet, you exercise, holy cow, 5 years over 50 can be huge, dramatic loss of muscle.
Sure.
It's huge. Sure. It's huge.
Well, we got Humanifort to help us with that.
Now, you were mentioning there's a lot of people on Humanifort. Basically, it's a lot of people on Humanifort. They're not in the fitness industry. It's not in the fitness industry, and of course, not every industry says them on the name of Humanifort.
Right.
For in a medical field.
That's it's a misunderstanding by people, just because this is what I try to explain to people, Emeric, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you yourself know and have shared Humanifort with the world for over 20 years now, right? 30 years, okay? And it has helped everybody that's ever used it. It's been associated with bodybuilding only. And that's what bothers me a little bit, is you get even women that are like, oh, is it okay for women? Or, you know, people are like, oh, I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't need that. And which is a bunch of bullshit, because it's not a bodybuilding supplement. It's such a dramatic, life-changing thing that bodybuilders, it is a biological thing. It's science in order to grow muscle. And the Humanifort helps marriage everything together, but it doesn't isolate itself to bodybuilding. Everybody can benefit from it. Even animals can benefit from it. You have your own pet, you have your own pet formulas now. And there's been studies that have proven that it has helped fix all these problems, even physically with animals and everything else. So this is, I don't care if you're just somebody's mom wanting to be a little healthier, or if you're a guy that's got some metabolic issues and whatnot. Humanifort will help everybody. It'll help your freaking dog.
And even was twice editorial in Flex magazine, 2 times. Was one in 1999 and one in 2000. And back then there were no social media, so that magazine was read by millions, and nobody catched on because it was in the fitness industry. The reason I launched it in the bodybuilding industry, because I was at age 44 when I was basically talked into it to come back and compete and represent Romania as a IFBB pro, because I was a all Romanian champion and Eastern Bloc champion, so I could compete professionally since 1981, but I didn't. When I decided this, I was thinking about, you know what? There are other people my age 44 in the bodybuilding. Either they competing for many years and suddenly they're getting old, they don't have respond. So that was my intention. But if I were able to go back again, I wouldn't even bother with the fitness industry. I would go straight out to mom pops, age defense, and just normal people have aches and pains. They retired, they never worked out, and they have these health issues because what comes with aging. And it was many medical doctors, they were sort of laughing, and I will tell you a story. Probably everybody knows Di Pascali in Canada. Dr. Di Pascali, Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott,
yep. So Dr. Eric Serrano, and they are very good friends. And many times Eric was giving seminars to students in Canada. So many times. So the first time Serrano was approached to do a study on people regarding stress hormone, and he suggested then instead stress hormone, let's do all the hormones, let's do insulin, let's do blood sugar, everything, because I have already the blood, so why they get the advantage, why just test for stress hormone? When you have the blood, we can check our hormone panels. So back then in one of the muscle magazines or other magazine, you could ask questions, Dr. Di Pascali. So somebody asked him about Humanifort, and Di Pascali said, answer was not verbal, was in the magazine, respond, just eat eggs, you will be fine. So Dr. Serrano had different concept also, was thinking about what the hell is this? But he has his letter after the study, he admits that he was wrong.
Yeah, that was a really ignorant thing for him to say. That was incredibly ignorant.
And then Eric was going to Canada, and I told the story. And then he told this Pascal, you said that Humanifort eat eggs. He said, yeah, what's the difference? Is it from eggs? He said, no, I did a study. This is unbelievable. So people don't confuse eating eggs with something. It's the first stage of creating life, because definitely whole egg is one of the best.
Yep. And yes, fertilized eggs are better, but you can't absorb the same amount of growth factors out of a fertilized egg that you get out of Humanifort.
No, that has to be. So the fertilized egg, one is fertilized, and it's incubation. These growth factors, they start developing because they have to create life. They have to create the vascular system. one has to create the tendons, the ligaments, etc.
Yeah.
So it's all there beautifully. And these growth factors, I won't try to put it simple. These growth factors, they make each different family members. Just let's make it
Yeah.
a little more funnier. Let's talk about the Casa Nostra, the mobsters. You know, they had a family in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Florida. So they take care of that area. So these growth factors, it became form a family, and they take care together things in the body what need to be regulated and function normal.
Yeah.
So it's not just let me inject IGF-1 or let me inject growth hormone. Yeah, you inject the growth hormone. Of course, your liver conversion of IGF-1, but that's only one growth factor. Where's the other 32?
Right.
Yeah. Where's the other
And then
32?
And so, that absolutely makes sense. The marriage is the family that takes care of the family.
Yeah.
Now, and one thing you said that I like is the creating life. That's what all these growth factors do. They create life, and still people, will not seem to understand that. So that's what I'm hoping we get across here.
Yes.
Now, Emeric, we'll have to cut off here in a couple of minutes, but I want to bring up something that maybe you and I could discuss, maybe even with John a little bit, is you were going to tell a story about, we could do this next time, and I've heard that you got robbed at Masters Olympia.
Fine with this. See,
and since we're bringing up the Masters Olympia, I think what we could do is kind of introduce here is maybe we should tell that story next time of how you got robbed from the Masters Olympia.
Basically, Wayne D'Amelio was the chairman for the pro division, and I signed. That was 2002. I signed before every single IFBB Pro contest. You sign a contract. So in case you have a medical excuse, that's fine. But you just pull out, then it's 5,000 penalty fee. So I signed a contract. So I was competing overall on 40 and over 50. So the way it was like there, you competed with everybody. Then if you placed 5th, 6th in the 40, you get the 5th place in the 40. But if best in the 50, you get first place 50.
Yes.
So I was giving my music, Dave Puzo, and this Dave Puzo, it's my witness. If anybody has doubts about if Wayne D'Amelio want to come in front, it's not true. It's true. So Dave Puzo said, wait a second, here's a contract he signed for 50. He said, no, he can't do that anymore. Then I told Wayne, you need to give by the FDA the regulation. They understand you have to give 90 days in advance if you do change something, so people, they can prepare or just back up. And he told me, I change everything right now on the spot. Then on next time we have a show, I tell you what made that him too close, who influenced him about that. So Rich Gaspari, I will explain without naming his name why Wayne D'Amelio did that for me, so not able to finish my last contest as an IFBB Pro.
Why he did what he did to you?
Yeah, okay. was influenced by somebody else. Now, Rich Gaspari was one of the judges on that contest, and Rich was very impressed. Even what's his name? Sonny Smith from Australia was competing.
Sonny.
And he said, "You're a great, fantastic." So Rich called me out in the top 6 just to be on the lineup top 6, because I had some pose where I was standing there with those guys. My arms, also my front shots, pros, muscle, side chest was pretty good. So he told Rich, if you call out Emeric in the top 6 there to compare, you're never going to be judging any contest anymore. So, but I will tell you next episode another story, and I was really surprised after what Wayne DeMilio talked me into it to do something I didn't feel good about for many years. Okay. Then I will tell you how I ended up a story and why he's not there anymore, chairman for IFBB.
Yeah.
By the way, he did this to Milo Sarchev in Russia.
There's a lot of
they saw Milo's third or fourth place, and Wayne came changing his eighth place.
Really?
So then Milos, I think, he kind of confronted Wayne. He said, "Wait a second, Wayne. You know, the judgment saw me third or fourth, higher than eighth." He said, "Because I put you eighth." He said, "You can't do this, and I can do anything I want." That he said. So yeah. It's not only me. He knows for how many guys he did.
Yeah.
And you know, when I took Ronnie Coleman to Joe Weider, I was involved in taking contract. First question Ronnie told to Joe Weider, "Well, you know, if I compete in Mr. Olympia, how about Wayne DeMilio, who doesn't want me to be first?" And Joe said, "I'm the boss. Wayne DeMilio does what I'm telling him."
Yeah.
So a lot of athletes, they were very confused that Wayne DeMilio has so much power to do this kind of stuff. So it's a huge politics in the bodybuilding.
Right.
I don't know right now. I'm not competing, but probably still politics.
I'm sure they're still there, but you know, that's why I'm teaming up with Matthew Storm with his organization. I just think the guy, like, ethically, you can tell he's ethically a very good human being, and he still shares the athletes with other organizations openly and is not biased. You know what I mean? I think that I think anything judged is always going to end up having some political problems. It doesn't matter, but we need to keep it at a minimum and make people aware of the things that have been done to the athletes over the years, and try to bring that to as much of a halt as we can.
Yeah. You know,
and
this politics,
another thing,
some people, you know, some people, when they make politics, some people, they really taking this very hard emotionally.
Yes.
And they can screw up their life. Myself, I have a really good, the way I think about, you know, of course, if they place me higher, would be nice, but never bother me, because I looked in the mirror and I say, you know what, this year I look better than last year. So to myself, I was improved. I always do this because I like the challenge. I like the challenge. I like something to have goals. My goal was not next year. My goal is, even now, my goal is when I get 105, 110 years old. You know, so right now my goal, the closest goal now, my goal is longer, yeah. But my closest goal, I have 9 years. So if I have 9 years, by age 80, I want to improve my physique from age 70. So by age 80, I want to look better than at 70, which probably people, they're laughing.
Well,
but I will.
I wouldn't laugh. I think it's awesome that you're going to try to do that. And tell you what, now you got the X3 and we got Jagwish. We're all going to put some serious training protocols together and some nutritional stuff that's so science-based and factual that it's going to blow people's minds. And you're going to be an integral part of it, Emeric. You're going to be a huge part of it.
Just imagine, we're going to change millions
of lives,
people's life to be healthy.
Even
people, some people right now, they're almost crippled. You know, even those people, they will improve.
Yeah. So I got to get my ass to the gym. Speaking of that, I got a show in 18 weeks, but I'll leave that with Emeric. One of the main reasons, two of the main reasons that I'm able to do this today is yourself and Dr. John Jagwish. Between the two of you, you've helped me so substantially that I can't thank you guys enough. And I am forever in your guys' corners. I want you to know that for a fact. And I just this last few days, I had been on the 10 milligram a day TRT protocol with the Humanifort. I've been taking Humanifort for, well, you know, well over a year now, but the TRT I changed up, and I think it was 14 weeks I ran it at the 10 milligrams a day. while I was trying to heal all these issues with my body. But now I just stepped it up to 20 milligrams a day, which is actually still under my prescribed amount. I'm prescribed 150 a week. So I'm taking 10 milligrams less than my prescribed amount. And I'm curious I'm just going to run it for 6 weeks and see what difference I feel.
So you're right now in 20 milligram a day?
20 milligrams, yes.
Well, I tell you what, if you have your blood work 11 hours after, don't be surprised, it's going to be over 1,500 total, which is not healthy to have there.
Okay.
So if I would be, just for curiosity, just check that.
Yes.
But do not wait 24 hours. You have to do it right, 11 hours after last injection.
Yep.
And you're going to see how high is your total testosterone, and probably going to scare you.
Okay. Okay. But I plan that for 6 weeks and then go back to the 10 milligrams a day for another 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Obviously.
Vinny did the same thing to try out a little blessed with the 20 milligram, and his blood work came back 1,500 plus. So the lab, they didn't tell you how much higher. Once reach 1,500, they don't bother, So he came down immediately to 10 milligram again.
Okay.
Because there's no reason, especially when you're over 50, it's no reason to take a chance,
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm glad at least we're able to do this today without John, and then I'm really looking forward to go his office.
Yeah.
And because I don't have a PhD yet, so I'm not officially a scientist, even I did educate myself, but teaming up with John, I'm very happy because he is a scientist, he's a medical doctor. So, and also with my limited vocabulary, the English
vocabulary,
my pronunciation, it's really difficult to understand. And
I think I understand.
But for the medical field, because I'm telling you, this start rolling from John's medical office, is going to be many medical doctors. They're going to come. All the medical doctors, they've been using testosterone therapies. They are going to change entirely what they were preaching for years or recommended for people. They're going to be a huge revolution in this hormone therapy industry.
Now, that brings up to mind, I just want to leave with this. I have found I'm using John Jaguish. His Primal Medical Group is going to be my sponsor for TRT and for any medical issues people have. So John has an online medical clinic, the Primal Medical Group. He has, which is not just, it doesn't matter if you have a cold or measles or what it is, you can sign up for that. And they also offer testosterone replacement therapy. So that is going to be CoachWaz.com. Our sponsored TRT clinic is Primal Medical Group, driven by Dr. John Jaguish. So that I'm very happy to announce. And that was a marriage that John and I just came up with today. Okay.
That's fantastic.
I'm done searching that. I got my TRT clinic for the guys, and I'm super pumped there. Now, also I need to bring on to people is you and I, Emeric, are working our butts off trying to help people and bring this to the forefront. I am running into a lot of people not sharing and liking and subscribing. And if there are friends, look, people, if you care about what we're doing, share the video. Please like and subscribe. Okay. We're trying to do some really incredible things here. And I know people are sharing, like, and subscribing some stupid commentary people that are just a waste of complete time. Here we are like at the forefront of athletics and science and health and nutrition and trying to help everybody. And like, oh yeah, that was a great video. Please, for the love of God, like, subscribe, and share. And my CoachWaz.com, we got the forums being built right now. And I'm a little excited to bring that to the forefront here in the near future. So from there, Emeric, I'll thank you for your time tonight, brother. It's been a couple of weeks since I seen you, so it's great to see your face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get myself a little workout in, and then have a little nutrition afterwards. But I think till next time, brother. I'll talk to you. I'll talk
Looking
to you
forward
real
to it.
soon.
Yeah, that's a good news about Dr. John. That it's just really good. It's really
Yeah.
good, really good. Okay,
All right.
well,
Good
see
night,
you.
brother.